Laser sights will make you a more accurate and confident shooter by providing visual feedback on sight alignment and trigger control. Crimson Trace, making laser sight standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
This is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, now available on iTunes and other podcast clients, and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for iPhone and Android. Feel free to call Tom now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN or 866-825-5486, or email Tom at guntalk.com. Now, once again, here's Tom.
All right, we're back with you. Tom Gresham here. The number is 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial Tom Talk Gun. A lot of things going on. We, of course, we've got our DVDs, our books, our hats, our shirts, all available at shopguntalk.com. We'll get you in right there. It's a lot of cool stuff. And don't forget to check out the new season of First Person Defender on our Roku channel, Facebook, definitely on our Facebook page, YouTube, pretty much every other place you can see videos, we're there. But check it out, First Person Defender, where we drop in regular people into self-defense situations. Yeah, they're going to get attacked. It's a home invasion. It's an ATM robbery. It's a carjacking. It's a kidnapping. And we see what they do. And then we give them a little bit of training. And we run a pretty similar scenario. And we see how they improve. And everybody improves. And it's not that they have acquired new physical skills. It's that they have acquired additional thinking skills. And that's what really counts. Very cool stuff. I think you'll really like it. Speaking of cool things, I was, a month or so ago, we're out at the FTW Ranch in Texas having a ball. It's one of my favorite places. It's gun camp. It's like, Gun Sight and some of these other places. They have long-range shooting there. They have hunter prep classes, which are really good, very effective. And I got together with a few of my friends, and then some of them actually brought their families. And one of those who did exactly that was Mark Gurney from Ruger, joining us right now to talk about basically taking the family to gun camp. Hey, Mark.
Hello, Mr. Tom. How are you, sir?
I am well. It was a hoot and a half, was it not?
It was awesome. It was. I asked my kids would they like that better than they like Disney, and it didn't take them long to answer yes. They did.
All right. How old? Tell them about your kids. How old are they?
Okay, so we have a 16 and a 14-year-old there. So my middle son is 16. My daughter is 14. And we have a 23-year-old that's been there before.
Oh, okay.
As part of Ruger, but, he didn't get guns.
Right, okay. So you brought the family. You got the two youngsters, boy and a girl.
Yep.
And we're doing kind of a shortened version. We got like a half a dozen media types in there, gun folks. And we're doing a little mini course in long-range shooting and everything else. But you guys kind of disappeared on us, and you were out doing your own thing. So what were you guys doing while we were doing something?
Well, we were just having fun. I've probably been to FTW over the last 10 years probably half a dozen times for things like what we were doing there. But you were in good hands with the other Ruger folk there, and we had this vacation plan to say, hey, we can do both at the same time. So we had to take it slow, though, because, the kids have shot at 100 yards, but they just weren't into it, like we've been in the past.
Right.
But open minds, willing to learn, and gosh, it took them very little time. And I have two awesome memories from this. My daughter hitting a 1,000-yard plate off sticks.
Oh, wow.
Here's a skinny little 14-year-old kid, and it was breezy. It was not an easy shot.
The wind was howling when we were there.
Yes, it was. Yeah, you guys were shooting that big gun, and man, you stretched out to what, 2,500?
Yeah, the gun we can't talk about yet.
That's right.
Okay.
And I think you all made the mile club with that, though, right? You all get to 18.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, at 2,500 yards, It was, because the wind was blowing 20 to 30 and gusting, and it's basically even a 1 mile an hour change in the wind is going to have you miss the target at that range. But we were pulling the trigger a lot anyway.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. I told you, I've been there a lot over the years. We use that as training for our engineers, as well as a place for folks like you, for media to come. Mm-hmm. But I remember the first time going there, and we were so proud of ourselves to hit a 1,000-yard target. And that's where we learned how good 6.5 Creedmoor was, because that was so easy to do,
right?
Compared to the 308s we were running. And now we come back and, like, kids are at 1,000 yards, and youngsters at barely a full instruction.
Wow. Well, okay, so your daughter was having fun. I know your son was having fun. So you're doing long-range shooting. And now, did you guys have one of the instructors with you out there?
We did. We had Dave Knesset with us.
Okay.
And he was so good with the kids. He was funny. He was patient. And then later on, somebody told me, "Well, you realize he was like the Master Chief for SEAL Team 2, Like, oh, really? So,
this friendly, joking guy, yeah, he's a go places, do things, and some of the people don't come back when he gets there, kind of a guy.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And you remember Dog? He was a SEAL Team instructor.
Oh, yes, he was. He was actually the sniper instructor on SEAL teams. Yeah.
Yes. And such a laid-back, fun guy. But I remember years ago I brought an SR-556 out there just for fun. And he picked up the gun, and he just looked at it, and he got a little longing. And he says, I bet you I fired a gun like this about 1 million times. He probably wasn't exaggerating.
Probably wasn't exaggerating, no, not at all. So we've got these instructors who, they have this superhuman ability to watch you.
Yeah.
And, they kind of watch the target, but mostly they're watching you when they're shooting. And they'll go, okay, you're releasing the trigger a little bit too quickly when you pull it. We're talking about long-range shooting. We're shooting a rifle. You got to hold the trigger back. Or you're gripping it a little bit too tight, and they're watching you, and they're correcting, and they're also making wind calls, and they essentially just talk you into the target.
Yeah. There are good shooters in the world, and there are good instructors. The people who really win are the good shooters who are also good instructors, and that's what they offer you there.
Yeah, and to me, it was kind of like an air traffic controller just talking you in all the way, and finally, you're out there whanging the target. And in our case, when you guys were out doing that, we were shooting the 6.5 Creedmoors, but also we were shooting the 3.75 Ruger. And we were hammering steel at 500 yards with literally an elephant gun.
Yes. I have taken my 3.75 Ruger out to 1,000 and back. Wow. And that was an older gun without a break. And I went home with 2 black eyes to prove it, but it can be done.
It can be done. I'm not sure you want to do it, but it can be done.
No, that 3.75 Ruger has the same ballistics as 180 grain .6.
Really?
And really, it's easy to shoot. It's
it wasn't bad at all.
Right.
Now, I will tell you, to be fair, if you go out and shoot 100 rounds through that from a prone position, you're going to know it.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it.
That's what I did when I walked it out to 1,000, right? But that's not normal or reasonable.
No, it's not, or not smart. Actually, I would offer that.
No, exactly.
As I've discovered, but totally fun. And the one thing I did find out about that, and you being the engineer can explain it, is that barrel will heat up really fast. I mean, 3 to 5 shots, and it's hot.
Yeah, and it's not a skinny barrel. I mean, it's not
a thin
super
barrel.
Heavy either. You can hunt with it. But what I found is trying to shoot 5-shot groups, because that's what we do. A real group is 5 shots. But the first 2 would pretty much be stacked on top of each other. The third would be 3/4 of a minute out or so. And then if you kept on to the next 5, you'd be out at 1.25 minutes. And if you just stop at 2 or 3, wait for it to cool down and put 2 more in, then you get, so it's not as capable. But it's not just a little bit hot, it's screeching hot.
Oh, yeah.
And
you're burning so much powder.
You burn so much powder, and then the folks at Hornady who developed that, they really are rocket scientists. If you after every shot, you kind of put your hand on the barrel, you feel that the most intense heat is from the center. So they really are getting a very efficient burn. The highest amount of heat will then radiate front and back from the center of the barrel.
Now, to be
the same way too.
To be fair, if you're into your 3rd and 4th shot with a 3.75, you're probably already shooting at something that has been hit. And if the group has expanded to 1 inch or 1.5 inches at 100 yards, it probably doesn't matter in real world.
Probably doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But I have used that 3.75 to great success on game animals, and the follow-up shots really aren't needed. You make a good first hit. That is a devastating round.
Oh, yeah. And FTW, I just want people to understand, FTW Ranch is one of the coolest places. It's in the hill country of Texas, and it's I mean, you can do hunter prep training, long-range shooting, and the instructors are people who really know how to do it. They're not it's that old deal of, those who can't teach. No. They can do it, and they can teach it.
Yes, all good stuff. And like you said, opening up, it is summer camp for grown-ups, You can't help but have fun.
Hey, Mark, hold on a second. I want to talk also, Ruger's got all sorts of new stuff we need to talk about, but I just want to talk about the fun stuff. We got that done. When we come back, we're talking with Mark Gurney, by the way, from Ruger. And if you have a thought or a question or maybe a suggestion of what you'd like for Ruger to bring out, by all means, give us a call, 866-TALK-GUN. I'm Tom Gresham. We'll be right back.
Brownells has gone retro. Check out Brownells' new line of retro AR-15 and AR-style 308 rifles at brownells.com/retro. Whether you're looking for Eugene Stoner's original 308 design, the famous M16A1, Air Force 601, or the XM177 carbine, Brownells has the classic, new production, old-school rifle of your dreams. Own the firearm you used in basic training, carried in service, or that Grandpa always talks about. See more at brownells.com/retro.
Perhaps more than any other landscape, wetlands embody the life-giving abundance that nature has to offer. And perhaps more than any other organization, Ducks Unlimited is working to ensure that our continent's wetlands not only survive, but thrive for generations well beyond this one. The time is now to band together. The time is now to rescue our wetlands.
Your everyday carry advantage. The new M&P Shield M2.0 pistol from Smith & Wesson has the enhancements of the M2.0 line with aggressive grip texture and a crisp and lighter trigger pull. Extremely thin and lightweight, you can carry it all day. Also available with an integrated crimson trace laser in 9 or 40. The M&P Shield M2.0. Visit smith-wesson.com.
This is Jeff with Black Hills Ammunition. Our new rifle ammunition line, featuring Hornady's extreme low-drag bullet design, is a big step forward in long-distance performance. When you want the ability to shoot way out there with accuracy, flat trajectory, and minimal wind effect, our ELD ammunition is the right choice. The high ballistic coefficients and Black Hills Ammunition carry manufacture gives you the advantage. Black Hills Ammunition, the power of performance.
By the way, before I forget it, see if I get this right. If you go to shopruger.com, they've got a sale on their left-handed holsters. And I think the code is LEFT, but that ends tomorrow. So if you're looking for a left-handed holster, Mark, I think I got that right.
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay, so I'm talking with Mark Gurney from Ruger. We went out at the FTW Ranch, and we were shooting the RPR, Ruger Precision Rifle. Now, we were shooting the 6.5, and even, as good as it is, when the wind is screaming like it was doing, it was all we could do to make 1,000-yard hits, I got to tell you. It's just, it's just hard. The wind makes it hard.
Well, it does, but when you stack the 6.5 up against 308, you realize how forgiving 6.5 is.
Well, that's true.
It's really just a super cartridge.
It is, and I guess, and everybody's now talking about the 6mm Creedmoor. And I'm not sure. At a certain point, I'm not sure I understand why I would use one versus the other kind of a thing.
Well, I think, first off, some people have sarcastically answered, although it was funny, if you have to ask, then you probably don't need it.
It's probably true.
Yeah, and frankly, I don't. I'm not that good. But if in competition, it's all about calling wind, seeing your hit, and then re-engaging. You remember the FTW coaches that you take a shot, but if you miss, they say, come on, reload, get it again, because they have the wind call. So
yeah, it's a good point, because they want you to shoot and reload, almost reload while the bullet's in the air. At least as soon as you see the hit, you reload, and you can get the next shot off because the wind conditions are the same.
Now, in a competition, though, in PRS, you don't have somebody spotting for you.
Right.
So with less recoil on the 6, you can see your hit, or miss, right? And then re-engage right away with the correct wind call. So that's where its advantage is. There's also very little recoil with the 6 Creedmoor. As easy as the 6.5, 6.5 is, the 6 millimeter is even easier. So it's almost like feels like shooting a 223.
For most of us, if we're not shooting that competition, if say I like the 243 or the old 6 millimeter Remington, something like that for hunting, no particular reason to go to the 6 Creedmoor just for hunting.
No, in fact, I think you'll find 6.5 Creedmoor has been so popular. Mm-hmm. You can actually find ammo in various hunting and target loads.
Yes, you can.
It's not outrageously priced, and it really is. We're making way more 6.5s than 308s these days.
You're kidding me.
So way more.
Wow.
I don't remember what the split is, but I would say it's like not even close.
Oh, I'll be darned.
And I fought it I have so much 308. I have so many guns in 308. I fought it, and I finally caved. And I bought the gun that I was shooting out there, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, all right. So give us the short rundown on a few of the new things that you guys, because it seems like you're kicking out new cool guns all the time.
Well, we can't talk about stuff that hasn't announced yet.
I know. I was careful.
I know. And we showed you some new cool stuff, and we can't, believe us, we can't wait to get it out. It's so much fun. But we've ended up last year, at the end of the year, we launched 49 new products.
Holy cow.
That's normally we do like 20 a year. Mm-hmm. We did 40 at the end of the quarter, then in December. And then just this summer, we got 4 new ones out, and mm-hmm. they're pretty cool. I have my favorite, though. We got a new 1022 Target Light. So that's the tension barrel, aluminum sleeve mm-hmm. over steel barrel, so it's very light but very accurate. Okay. We got another version of the 7717 in Winchester Super Mag. That's a hoot.
Yeah.
And then, we talk a lot about self-defense, but the Security 9 is really an outstanding little pistol that we make. So it's that mid-size, frankly, we call it a G19 size gun. It's very compact. It holds 15 rounds of 9 millimeter. It's easy to shoot. It's just dead reliable.
Okay, and I have to brag because I shot that. We did a bunch of one-on-one shooting with the gun writers and with the staff, and yours truly came out on top shooting that gun, even beating the Navy SEAL. So
wow,
I don't know if
I remember hearing that.
Yeah, I don't know if he was taking it easy on me, but I think
M4, but I think you shoot, Tom. You're pretty good, man. So, and that's a $300 pistol.
Exactly.
What's not to like about that?
You weren't there to see it. We were shooting. I got 2 out of 5. Yeah, we each had 5 shots. I got 2 out of 5 shots on steel at 150 yards with that pistol. Still won with that one too.
Yeah, excellent. So we launched a version of that with a Viridian laser, mm-hmm. and it adds maybe $60 to the price of the gun. So nice. For $360 or so, you get yourself a mid-size, concealable but shootable 9 millimeter pistol, 15 rounds with a laser on it. It's very confidence-inspiring, at a great price, and it's just a solid gun. We're very happy to have that. So the laser was a nice touch on that one.
Yeah, really nice.
And then my favorite of the summer intros was we have an SR 1911 steel frame officer's model. 45 auto. And I'm still struggling with that because I've been carrying a 5-inch for years.
Yeah.
And I shot this gun, and I thought with the shorter sight radius and the smaller grip, it may be harder to shoot. It's not.
Nope.
I'm not giving up anything. So why do I lug this big chunk of steel around like I have a smaller gun? So I still have to figure that one out for myself.
And for those who didn't hear about it, you also have 10 millimeters available.
We do. They're in the full size gun, and that's my daily carry. Is a 10 millimeter 5-inch, and I recently shot in a little match with one of those. We were shooting bowling pins, and everybody else had high capacity 9 mil, and I had my 10. And I'll tell you, it will knock the bowling pins over a little more, with a little more aggression. It's a great cartridge.
I'm just being notified. We've got calls for you right now, so hold on. We're going to get line 4. Rick is with us out of Clarksville, Tennessee. Hey, Rick, you're on the air with Mark Gurney from Ruger.
Hey, sir. I've been watching Doug Koenig doing the competitions for you guys now, And I was wondering if you guys are coming out with any shotguns again.
We work on all sorts of things all the time. We've got a great R&D department, and you're going to figure this out. I'm not answering your question very well here, but we don't have any shotguns coming out anytime soon. But we're always working on just about anything you can think of.
Yes, sir. I just picked up your MPR about 2 months ago.
Isn't that a great little gun?
Yeah, I love it. Everybody at the range has been enjoying shooting it with that the 2-stage trigger on it.
That's
when you have a good gun, when everybody at the range wants to shoot it along with you.
It's so true. And it actually adds to the fun of having the gun when everybody wants to shoot your gun.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's cool. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. I have to get Justin in here on line 3, Granite City, because he's got the question. I keep hearing everybody ask, hey, Justin, you're up. Go ahead and throw it at him.
Hey, I appreciate it. I've got a 5.5-inch Super Black Hawk Bisley in 44, and I would love to see its longer brother in a semi-auto 44 go back with a semi-automatic 44 Magnum. That to me, having a combination, a lot of the guys who like your single actions want a 44 Magnum rifle. And I know that you guys still produce, from what I saw on the website, the 44 Magnum bolt action. But that's semi-automatic. There's kind of a cult following to them, and they're really tough to get your hands on. It'd be pretty nice to have one of those and see them in the market.
All right, Mark, I got a minute, so go ahead.
Okay, they certainly have a cult following, especially here in New England. It's a short-distance, heavy brush kind of gun. But, the reason we stopped making those is that people stopped buying them, and they became more and more expensive to make. So we don't know really if tens of thousands of people want to line up to buy it or not. But we certainly appreciate the input, and we keep it on our list. So thank you.
Hey, Mark, I appreciate it. We're going to be out of time here. I want to tell people to go to Ruger.com to see all the new stuff you guys are introducing. Very cool stuff, man.
All right, thank you, Tom. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, and had a great time with you and your family out at FTW Ranch. Mark Gurney from Ruger. Cool stuff. And, yeah, put me in for half a dozen of those 44 semi-autos. Probably a couple hundred of them, as a matter of fact. 866-TALK-GUN. Do you hunt with a 223?
Gun Talk encourages you to support the local sporting goods store, gun stores, ATV dealers, and other local businesses in your area who advertise on this station and Gun Talk. Only together can we protect our rights. You're listening to Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
All right. Hey, I'm going to be out in the Denver area next week. Going to be at the Independence Institute's ATF party. ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Yeah, we're going to shoot sporting clays in the morning, and then after lunch, the crew starts, the alcohol comes out when the guns gets put away, and the cigars come out, so it's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. So I'll be doing a little talk out there. Going to be fun. Let's go straight to the phones. Line 3, Anna's with us out of North Dakota. Hey, Anna, you're on Gun Talk. What's up?
Well, years ago, I got a master's in administrative science.
Okay.
And the instructors were very proud of the fact that government administrators make law without having to be accountable to the people.
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed. And they didn't preface that with, remember, regulations you're making have the force of law and that you're messing with people's lives and you're hurting people's businesses. This is the power we have, and we're proud of it.
In other words, we decide what is going to be good for the people, and we can do it without having anybody interfere.
Exactly.
Was it done in such a way that there was maybe less of a pride in being able to help as there is a pride in being able to just have the power?
Not from that particular instructor.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. So what was your takeaway on that whole thing?
Watch the administrators very carefully, and we the people should claw back a whole bunch of stuff back to ourselves and say, no, you don't get to just legislate our lives. It's not even legislation. It's like the Obamacare law, 15,000 pages that nobody had read.
Well, I'm thinking of other agencies, and we're talking about there are untold. We have agencies we don't even know the names of, but I'm thinking about something like EPA and environmental quality and such, where they say, and we know about the idea of navigable waters, and sometimes a trickle going through your yard gets deemed navigable waters because that way they can say, all right, now we have domain over this. We can tell you what you can do with your property. But here's one I had not heard. Try this one on. Even if it's not navigable waters, maybe it's just a big old pond and they want to regulate it, and they say, oh, yeah, that's part of the waters of the United States. Have you ever heard such a crazy thing as that?
Yes, I have.
Oh, tell me.
Yeah, and that's out where I'm at. Some spots are tabletop flat, so we have, in the springtime after a winter of good snowfall, we'll have a whole lot of fields that could fall under that just because there's this great big pond on it, and this section of North Dakota being relatively flat, it's hard to get it to drain away. Yeah,
I mean, the people talk about, say, yeah, they would like to regulate a flooded cow track out there if they could, and sometimes they actually can. I mean, because as to your point, once they say it is, it's up to you to challenge them. They're going to use your dollars to fight on that side, then you have to use your dollars on this side to challenge them and to say no and to push back. But I'm with you. We got to push back every time we can, and ATF does it. Other agencies do it. Honestly, it's what agencies do. But to your point, these folks are actually proud of their power. Anna, thank you for the call. I appreciate that very much. Line 2, Richard's with us out of Rogue River, Oregon. Hey, Richard.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Tom.
You bet.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't. I was trying to get through while the fellow there from Ruger.
Oh, yeah, when Mark was on, yeah.
Mark was on. I'm a southpaw, and the bolt-action precision .22 rifle, I think, would be an outstanding rifle if it was they made them for southpaws, too.
Well, that makes two of us, because I shoot long guns left-handed, and I would love that. I think a left-handed precision rifle and the precision .22 would be terrific. I'd be all over that.
I even sent a letter off to the fella, and I've never gotten a response about it. But I did give him statistics that, there's not only just us left-handers, but there's left-eye dominant people.
Oh, absolutely. And that's me. I'm right-handed, big-time right-handed, but left-eye dominant. And they'll say that 11, 12% of the people are left-handed. But I honestly think, just in the surveys that I've done, and I'd love to get your take on it, I'm thinking it's 30, 35% are left-eye dominant.
I told him, I said, a minimum of 20, 25% of left-handers, and, if you add to that left-eye dominant people, there's a lot of people out there that would love to have left-handed, especially the .22 caliber. I love the .22 caliber.
Yeah. By the way, don't forget that it wasn't that long ago that when we couldn't find any .22 ammo. Now is a really good time to be buying it, because you never know. Nobody ever sees this stuff coming, and it happens out of weird places. And I don't know the guy, but I know of a guy. It's one of those deals. I know a guy who knows a guy, and he has 1 million rounds of .22 put away. He said, my grandchildren will never have to worry about having ammo. So, well, okay, that may be a little excessive, but maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe not. That's why I keep buying it every time I see a good sale on it.
I like it. Richard, thank you for the call. I appreciate that, sir. Let's see. Our time. Yeah, we can do this. Let's get in Clint on line 3 out of Anchorage, Alaska. Hey, Clint.
Hey, Tom. That 44 semi-automatic sure would make a great airplane rifle for up here.
Oh, wouldn't it, though? Now, do I remember...
Especially if you put a wire stock on it, like the old M2s from World War II.
Yep, a folding stock or something?
Yep. I've been asking
that.
Ruger to make one of those for years, and it wasn't Mark, I don't think, when I talked to, but somebody else, and they said, Well, it's funny. The guys in Texas seem to want them, too, for hunting hogs.
Yes.
And I'm like, all right, so Texas wants them, Alaska wants them, New England wants them. Who else do we got to get, Tom?
You know, what I'm going to do, I'm going to privately, because I know you can't talk about it on the air. One of the problems is, and here's the reality of it.
Oh, it's expensive, I know.
Well,
right?
no, he can't even talk about it because Ruger is a publicly traded company. So if he says, well, we're thinking about doing that, well, boom, all of a sudden the SEC is all over it and everybody goes crazy. So there are a lot of times when he can't talk about things that are underway. Now, having said that, I don't think there's any plans at all to make this rifle because they have been asked for it for 20 years. At the same time, I'm going to ask them on private, just kind of say, okay, this is not publication, we're not on the air. How many rifles would it take for you to sell to make it worthwhile? Because that's really the question, isn't it?
Right. I mean, is it 10,000 or 100,000 type thing, you know?
Exactly. And the other part I'm going to mention, I'm going to have to remind them, and whoever it is who's doing your projections, we have seen time and time again that they sometimes miss it by a factor of 10. You know, witness the run on Ruger Precision Rifles when you couldn't get any. Witness the run on a lot of other things that they badly underestimated how many they were going to sell. I would not be at all surprised if that wouldn't be the same thing on the 44 semi-auto. I'll ask anyway. Look, I appreciate the call. I am very interested in that. I think it'd be a great airplane gun. I'm with you. I'll throw it in the back of the plane. All right, got to run to the break here. 866-TALK-GUN. The question on the floor is, what gun, Ruger or otherwise, would you like to see brought back? Also, we're still taking calls about, do you hunt with, have you hunted deer or antelope or anything like that with a 223? Some people still say it's too small and wouldn't be ethical to hunt with. We've got an awful lot of people who are saying, no, I'm doing it and it's working for me. I'd like to get your experience. Hunting with a 223 for deer, 866-TALK-GUN.
After a million rounds of testing, adapting to every mini red dot optic in the firearms industry, the new FN 509 Tactical became the perfect evolution of the world's most battle-proven firearms. Designed for mill-free compatibility, the FN 509 Tactical bears the most advanced patent-pending optics mounting system ever seen on the front lines or the home front. Set your sights on the new FN 509 Tactical.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. shopguntalk.com.
For 36 years, the U.S. Sportsmen's Alliance has been fighting to protect hunting, fishing, and trapping for sportsmen from coast to coast. Today, we are under constant attack from extremist animal rights groups who want to end your ability to hunt in the U.S. Join us to protect our sporting heritage and our way of life outdoors. To join or for more information on how you can help, go to ussportsman.org. That's ussportsman.org.
Want great deals on guns, ammunition, and gear? Download the free Gundealio app today. With Gundealio, you can search for deals, listen to the Gun Talk podcast, watch gun videos, read gun news, and get notifications right to your phone about deals and special offers. Save money on the products you want from the companies you love. New deals, discounts, and rebates added daily. Gundealio, available for free in the App Store and Google Play.
Crimson Trace announces the revolutionary Link, the world's first wireless laser and white light system. Combining a green laser at 300 lumen light with instinctive activation for AR-type modern sporting rifles. Link offers wireless control of the laser and light from the ergonomic replacement grip, eliminating the need to reach for the rifle's forend. Link. Smart, simple, secure. Available now. Visit crimsontrace.com to find a dealer near you.
Imagine the panic that came over this dad. He's working late and he got an alert on his smartphone. One of the motion-activated Blink cameras that he just installed picked up something at his home. He pops open the Blink app and views a video clip of a man peering through his kitchen window. He calls 911 and alerts his wife. Helping prevent situations like this is what Blink is all about. I mean, the point of having a home security system is to help alert you before some creep breaks into your home, not after. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up in minutes, and run on 2 AA batteries that last up to 2 years. And Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening at home anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. No contracts, no subscriptions, and it works with Alexa. BlinkProtect.com. You can go to Amazon.com. You can search for Blink camera. Blink is an Amazon company, by the way. BlinkProtect.com. All right, straight to the phones now. Line 2. Mike is with us out of California. Hey, Mike, hunting with a 223. What do you think?
Okay, I just watched this show on, I think it's called American Air Gunner.
Right.
And they were actually doing these, like a tour thing where they take you up in the helicopter and you're hunting, I think, wild boar or wild pigs in Texas, and they're using air guns.
Oh yeah,
now,
some of the air guns they have now, they're shooting pretty good sized projectiles, and they've got a lot of power in those things.
So, are we talking like the 22 caliber pellet or something like that? Or,
No. We're talking about shooting something like 35 or even a 40 or 45 caliber projectile with more power than a 38 special, maybe closer to a 357 Magnum out of an air gun. They're big bullets. Yes.
Okay. Now, I would assume that if you had the special ammo like a hollow point or something that Horton makes, especially for hunting, that the 223 would be more than adequate for hunting deer.
I would think that seems to be the reports that we're getting from everybody, and that's kind of what we're looking for is these firsthand reports. Mike, I appreciate the call. I think we're going to get that exactly what we're going to talk about here from Darren. He's on 3 out of Fargo, North Dakota. Hey, Darren, what's your experience here with the 223 on deer?
Well, my experience is that it greatly depends on what's between your ears. 223 is more than enough for shooting deer as long as you do your job. I've successfully hunted for over 30 years with 22 calibers. Matter of fact, my first deer hunting was with a 222. I've shot more deer with a 222 than anything else. The 270 the last several years, 30-06, 300 Winchester. That 222 was by far my favorite.
Well, that's interesting.
One thing my grandfather taught me, though, is if you're not sure you're going to drop it when you pull the trigger, don't pull the trigger.
Well, that's an interesting point. I guess maybe two sides of the same coin. One is that you have to make sure you hit them in the right place. But the flip side of that is with the almost negligible recoil of a 222 or a 223 or a 5.56, basically the same thing ballistically, there's no reason not to hit. I mean, if you're any kind of decent shot, you shouldn't be flinching. You shouldn't be worried, right?
Oh, it's not a matter of flinching. It's a matter of making sure all the basics, making sure what's behind it, making sure that there isn't something in the way, that they're not moving forward, and that you're not going to have a tree coming between you, that there's not going to be another animal or another person or whatever. You got to make sure you're shot.
Exactly, and it's a good point because, you're definitely not going to be shooting through any brush with a 223. And the other thing is, you know what? You shouldn't be shooting through brush with anything because you'd be amazed at how much deflection you can get off of a 30 caliber bullet or even a bigger bullet shooting through brush. Find a hole, shoot through that. Interesting. Talk about hunting with a 223. A lot of people doing it now. Well, all right, so if you do that, are you hunting with an AR or with a bolt action? Does it still strike you as weird when you see somebody out hunting with an AR? I know for the old folks it does, but for a lot of folks, that's just a rifle. 866-TALK-GUN. In the category of, I hope so, The Giffords group, Gabby Giffords gun control, gun ban group, they're calling for Democrats to run on gun control. They're saying they hope that gun control can win over disaffected Republicans. Really? That's where we're going with this? Okay. They're saying, we know that we've hidden from the gun control issue. We know that we've wanted to ban guns, but we always pretended that we didn't. They don't say it in quite those terms, but those are my terms. They've always hidden from it. They've told each other, don't say you're for gun control. Once you're in, you can vote for gun bans, but certainly don't campaign on that. And now they're saying, and once again, and I've seen this like twice over the last 30 years, where they say, it's okay to come out now. We can actually come out and espouse what we actually believe. We're going to say we're for gun bans now. And the electorate is ready for that. We can actually get elected on that. And every time they do, they crash and burn. And they get beat badly. So all I can say is keep going with that. I hope that is your plan. Tell people you're out there to ban guns. Let's see how well that works for you. Let's see. Mark is with us out of Billings, Montana on line 3. Your experience on hunting with a 223, Mark?
Yeah, Tom, I hunted Mozambique a couple of years ago for plains game.
Yeah.
And for deer-sized game, I really felt like it was the projectile that was the main and most important thing. I shot a reed buck, which is about the size of a white-tailed deer, and warthog with the Sierra 65 grain Game Kings. One-shot kills, went right down, excellent results. But then I shot Oribi and Common Diker, which are about the size of a white-tailed fawn. Right. I was trying not to cause any more hide damage, and I was using Hornady 40-grain VMAX and did not get the penetration that I needed. Those sort of blew up on the surface and did not get into where they needed to be. Here in Montana, I shot coyotes with the 40-grain VMAX, and it does not exit a coyote. So that's really what I was going for the smaller plains game, but it just didn't get to where it needed to be.
Yeah, that's the issue. Is you've got to have penetration on a coyote, and people don't understand that your average coyote is in the 30, 35-pound range. They may look bigger, but they're not really that big. You can definitely take care of that with a 40-grain bullet, and you're trying to preserve the pelt. I'm interested in your success on a warthog, because a warthog is tough.
Yeah, they're pretty big animals, and heavy bones. I was a little leery about it, but with the 65 grain Game King, I mean, I'm not breaking a shoulder. I'm putting it behind the shoulder. Sure. And bullet placement, of course, is the main thing. But one shot kill, went right down, no problem.
What kind of rifle?
Kimber Pro Varmint bolt action.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, had a great hunt. It was a good time.
Any pushback from the PH?
Not at all. No, it's over there. It's if you wound it, you pay for it. So
this
counting
is true.
On you to do the job.
That's right. If you draw blood, you're paying for the trophy fee. So there it is.
That's right.
Yeah, and of course the other thing is, and I'm just going to tell people and brag on you, because the PHs also, they watch you shoot very carefully, and once they know what you can do, they'll put you on game.
Yeah, no doubt. And part of the whole procedure, when you arrive, you shoot the guns and make sure the airlines didn't damage, that sort of thing. But part of that is not only seeing the gun, how it performs, but seeing how you perform with the gun.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. Thanks for passing that on. Appreciate that. Hey, when we come back, we're going to be talking with a world-class competitive shooter and gunsmith and former cop SWAT team leader. This is a guy you can learn an awful lot from. Actually, we get a live report from the Whittington Center, one of the great shooting facilities, I would say, in the world. It'll be a good time. We'll talk about building 1911s as well as becoming a better shot. And frankly, how you can continue to be a good shot as you age, which is beginning to be a big deal for an awful lot of us. Our number is 866-TALK-GUN. If you want to be a part of it, get in line right now. Just call us, Tom Talk Gun.